Have you ever asked yourself, who do I think I am? Or I don't deserve this. Or I could never be like so and so working at New York Fashion Week, running a salon, doing all of those big things. If I'm not working hard, I'm not working. I'm just a hairstylist. I'm just a barber or esthetician, massage therapist. If you have asked yourself any of those things, I want you to keep watching this video. This whole podcast is for you. I'm Christine Sherwood, the BeautyPro podcast host and the BeautyPro coach, and I help beauty and barber pros live their best, their most fulfilled life in and out of the salon, spa, or barbershop. All of those questions that you are asking yourself, it has everything to do with how you feel about yourself. It has nothing to do with the job. It has nothing to do with your client, your boss, your team, your location, none of those things. All of those lies, essentially, that you are telling yourself comes from a place of low self-esteem, of dirty self-talk, and uncertainty. Your confidence level is not where it should be for you to be able to work with the public. With all of that being said, I don't want you to feel any kind of way other than the fact that, okay, that's what it is. Now let's get to the core. Let's get to the point of the matter so we can fix it, so we can become that 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure stylist or beauty pro or barber that we know that we can be. If you're a salon owner watching this, congratulations, you are here. I'm a salon owner as well. And we're going to be going through all of these little things that truly make a difference in how we lead, how we show up, not only for our teams, but for ourselves. A huge problem within the beauty and barber industry is the quality of our relationships. A lot of times as beauty and barber pros, we go from one extreme of firing your clients, firing your teammates, firing, your owner, like you pack up and you leave. We go from there to doing anyone and everyone's hair that doesn't match with us, that we are people pleasers, yes people, when we really need to be focused and boundary people. So if you have ever felt any kind of perfectionism, overwhelm, underpaid, overworked, burnout, these are the things that happen when we actually have zero confidence in what we're doing. Our self-esteem is low, our confidence level is low or doesn't even exist. We are under high pressure in a high-fast, high-pressured environment. Unfortunately, the beauty industry is one that is based on stereotype, how people view us, how people judge us. And so it can be very draining to any human being who's trying to get further and get farther along. Here's an interesting statistic for you that you should probably remember. 70% of people suffer from imposter syndrome. So everything that we've talked about until this point, it is a whole bunch of other words to describe imposter syndrome. We all go through it. We all suffer from it. And if you are watching this video or listening to this podcast and you say, no, not me, you're a liar. We have all been faced with imposter syndrome one way or another. Am I good enough? Is my salon good enough? Is my team good enough? Is my significant other good enough? As beauty and barber pros, our relationships are very much intertwined into what we do. Our personal relationships, professional relationships. What we do for a living is connect with people. We actually build relationships with people while providing a service. And if we don't know how to do that properly, if we don't know how to communicate efficiently and from a genuine place of love and development, we're only going to hurt everybody around us. I am sharing with you 3 points that you must know. You have to know it if you want to stop undercharging and actually charge your work. Number 1, you don't have your ideal clients. You probably don't even know who your ideal client is. And with that, that's a huge problem if you're going to be working with people. You're not going to know how to market yourself. You're not going to know how to specifically target that person. A lot of times when, if you're in marketing, like I have been, you need to know who your target audience is. Not only do you need to know who they are, but you need to know how to communicate with them. You need to talk in their words, not yours. One thing that I have found in the beauty industry, a lot of hairstylists, barbers, esties, nail techs, they call themselves specialists. Here's the definition of a specialist. A specialist is someone who has put in at least 10,000 hours of work in a one specific skill. If you are a master hair cutter, you need to check how long you've been cutting hair. According to the math, 10,000 hours in one specific task equates 5 to 7 years. Let's round it up and we'll say 10,000 hours in 10 years. If you have not been in the industry for 10 years, please, for the love of all things handsome and sexy, do not call yourself a specialist. You will run into problems, you will run into issues if you do that prematurely. As a salon owner myself, I have met quite a few hairstylists who call themselves specialists when they have only been in the industry for 3 years. That doesn't work. There is so much more to learn, not only about hair types, but also about techniques, hair conditions, just the experience level of dealing with people and dealing with the art of consultation. The other part is back to the marketing is that you don't know your ideal client. So you are saying that you do everyone's hair. Everyone is not going to communicate the same as you. So for me, I have super thick, actually super curly hair. You're not going to talk to me or consult with me in the same way that you're going to consult with someone with super fine hair. The density is so much less than mine. It's not curly. It's actually stick straight. You're not going to communicate with us the same. Even your game plan is going to be completely different. Not to mention, I actually love different cultures. I love history. I love going to Barnes and Noble. I love studying. I love music. I drive a sports car. I have a dog. I go to the gym. I do all of these things. Whereas perhaps a different person, they love cats. They'd rather be in the mountains. They work a desk job and they are an introvert to the nth power. These are the things that you need to consider when you're talking to people and you're calling yourself a master whatever. You need to know where your ideal client is going to live, work, eat, hobbies, what kind of pets they have, what kind of clothes they wear, what kind of colored pens they like to write with. These are all factors on how you are going to communicate with your ideal client. One of the main reasons that you are undercharging as a hair professional, skin professional, so on and so forth, is that you don't know who your ideal client is. Another point to that is if you are looking for your ideal client, maybe you don't know who they are, you don't know what you don't know, consider this. There are so many different categories within categories. So if you are a new mom yourself, you might want to service other new moms, boy moms, girl moms, twin moms, dog moms. There are so many different kinds of mothers out there that you're gonna want to target. You have sports people, you have dads, you have business people, you have cowboys, luxury clients, all of the different kinds. I definitely want you to sit down, journal it out as specific as you can possibly go, because that's where the money is. The second thing that is the reason why you are undercharging as a beauty or barber pro is because you don't know how to charge. You probably don't do a specific service, so you don't charge at all because you just don't do it. You just don't offer it. So I'm not even going to worry about how to charge for that. If you're on your own, maybe you're an independent stylist, you're renting out of a suite or even a salon, a hybrid salon, you probably just don't know where to even begin. You probably are charging the same amount that you were charging in your previous salon. You are probably basing out your services based on your competitors around you. All of those things keeps you undercharged and keeps you blinded as to what you're even doing in the first place. You need to break down everything that you do, from how much one pump of shampoo in the back bar costs to what is the guaranteed life of your scissors. How many snips does it take for it to actually break down? You need to break all of this down. And estheticians, I say this all the time in my classes and in previous podcast episodes, you guys truly know how to do this. You have been trained since you were in aesthetic school, so more power to you. Hairdressers, it's your turn to learn. The third reason why you are undercharging behind the chair in the salon, spa, or barbershop is because you don't know yourself. If you've been following me for a while on the BeautyPro podcast, if you've come to any of my classes at premiere shows or the PA Beauty Expo or any of those places, you will know that I am an internationally certified life coach. I have been an internationally certified life coach since 2018, and I help beauty and barber pros live a more fulfilled life. And that doesn't always mean being a main stage speaker. Sometimes that means just being happily married and making money to pay your bills. It could also mean that you actually do want to be a main stage speaker. You want to be a platform artist. And so you need to know how to get there. But the only way you're going to know how to get there is by doing the work of analyzing yourself. You have to know yourself so that you have the reasonable pathway, you have the steps as to why you charge the way you charge. Stylists who work New York Fashion Week, most of them, they have come a long way and they are climbing the ladder, if you will, of experience in order to go back to their home, their state, their salon, their spas, their clients, and say, listen, we're going to have a price increase because I just educated into my life, into my career by working New York Fashion Week. Many beauty and barber pros take for granted, and it's all because of the negative self-talk that they are constantly putting on repeat day in and day out. If you are constantly telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I could never be like so-and-so, if I don't work hard, I am not working at all, I don't deserve it, then those things will be true for you. But if you take those things and say, yes, this is how I feel, this is what I'm going through, but I'm not going to let it stop. You're going to be actively searching for solutions as to how do I stop telling this to myself and how do I reframe it? And that's where I come in. As a life coach, I help you peel back those layers as to why you're telling yourself you don't deserve something. Where did that come from? Why are you telling yourself that? That negative, dirty self-talk is what's keeping you from charging your value, charging what you know to be true for your clients, and so that you can start pricing appropriately. There's a lot of talk in the industry right now with charge your worth or charge your value. Your words matter, and your words absolutely matter. What you tell yourself is what you're focusing on, and that's what grows. They may just be words to you, but to your clients, they feel the uncertainty when you're washing their hair. They feel the hesitation when they ask you, what do you recommend for me for my home care? And you recommend them something at Target. When they are coming to you, they're not going to Sephora or Ulta. They want your professional, educated opinion as to what they need for themselves. Another thing that I see a lot in the industry is many stylists do suffer from substance abuse problem, whether that is alcoholism, drug use, any kind of substance that's going to alter your frame of mind is going to affect how you show up. If you don't show up in a clear way, in a present way, that you know your who, what, where, when, why, and how, your clients and your paycheck is going to suffer. You're not going to charge what you need to charge because you can't even think straight. A lot of people, not just in the beauty industry, but a lot of people refuse to do the work. They refuse to do the self-reflection necessary to understand how you got to where you did. Why are you there? What is your life purpose, not only as a human being, but also as an individual behind the chair? And that determines how much you charge. A lot of stylists, they say they think that coaching or therapy or any kind of personal development is a little bit woo-woo, right? It's a little far out. It's a little bit like a hippie. So they don't do it. Meanwhile, they constantly are complaining. They're a bunch of negative Nancy's, Debbie Downers. They're constantly in the negative space and they think that nothing's wrong with them. Like they actually know, according to them, they know all the answers. They have perfect relationships. But the truth is, and this isn't just because I'm saying it, this is actually proven. Go look up the studies, go ahead. But if you have experienced any kind of trauma in your life, so whether it's a divorce, whether it was your parents' divorce or your divorce, that leaves scars and negative self-talk to yourself that affects your relationship. Maybe you got dumped or you did the dumping. That affects how you show up with people, especially clients. Like if your clients are constantly dumping you, there's something more to that, and it's not the clients. If your clients are telling you that you, or telling your boss and telling the reviews and putting them online that you have an attitude problem, it's not the client. Most likely, it's not the client. It's most likely you, that you need to face something about yourself and your reality. So divorce, dumping, rejection, death is a huge one that happens to people. It could be the death of a coworker, death of your parents, death of your significant other, death of your dog. Like these are traumatic experiences that affect how we show up. Our minds do change. The chemicals that happen inside of us show us and teach us different truths that are absolute truths that apply to every single one of us. We will, or have been, through any one of these things that I'm talking about. And like I said earlier in today's episode, is that if you say no, that's not the case for you, you don't need improvement, you don't need help, you are a liar. Like you're actually harming yourself by telling yourself how self-sufficient you are. As human beings, whether we're in the beauty industry or we are in a regular brick and mortar business dealing with people, we cannot be alone. We need to be with other people. We need to be growing. We need to be helping each other. And a big word that is used a lot of times in therapy is codependency. And codependency is the need to be in control. And when we are working behind the chair with other people, a lot of times our ego gets affected. We want to overcompensate, overcorrect, and we want to control the situation. And so that's probably why we go put up our own suite. We go and we break up that relationship. All of these things that happen inside of our minds and in our hearts, these are the reasons why we are undercharging. I know it sounds silly and it sounds completely unrelated and I sound like an absolute jujube, but I am telling you this is correct. From my own experience, from being super depressed, feeling without any direction, you can listen to my life story, my origin story on episode 1 of the BeautyPro podcast. All of these life events affect us in ways that we can never understand until we do the work and we come on out of the other side. So for you watching this or listening, depending on where you are streaming this episode, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, I highly encourage you to examine yourself before you start accusing your team, your boss, your relationships, your clients, everybody else around you, your location even. Look and examine yourself. Do the hard work. Why are you really undercharging? Is it because of a lack of confidence? You don't have the skill set? You're telling yourself that you actually can't do it? If that's the case, I want you to connect with me on Instagram. Send me a message at the Beauty Pro Coach. Let's chat. You can claim your free discovery call with me and we can really dive deep as to what's really going on behind the scenes as to why you're undercharging your clients in the salon. So that's a wrap for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed this this podcast episode. It is so great to connect with you and to share with these deep revelings as to why you're undercharging behind the chair. It's actually much more than what we think, just like everything in this life is. And so I hope you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you follow me. Make sure you tell all of your beauty besties about the Beauty Pro Coach and the Beauty Pro podcast. And I'll talk to you later.